Welcome to What Do You Do Outside Work Rwanda Special! Because it's Rwanda Special, I'm taking over this episode to be the interviewer and for Ina to be finally the interviewee, because we also need to know what you do outside work. So
yes.
Let's ask the burning question. Ina, what do you do outside work?
I consider myself as a multi-potentialite. It's kind of a concept where a person has different interests on different things and have different focus on different things, or various focus on different things. I do art, so I draw charcoal drawings, painting, watercolor paintings. I do photography on the side, traveling, and then looking for the best spot to take photos. I do baking, and then I'm also a kind of like health conscious individual, so that's why I kind of like reinvent those homegrown recipes of brownies or red velvet cakes. I also kind of like walk around and explore chic coffee shops. I collect coffee, so every time I travel, I collect coffees.
And you've collected some coffees here in Rwanda, right?
Yes, I have a lots of unopened coffees.
And you have lots of coffee to finish when you go back to Thailand.
Yeah, because like when I go to Vietnam has really nice coffee, so I like hoard coffee from different coffee shops, local coffees. I go to Myanmar, same. I go to Philippines, same. When my friends travel, I asked them to bring me some coffee.
Some coffees as well.
The first time I tell Christine when I arrived here, I have to buy some coffee.
Exactly. So Ina's Facebook friends, we learned a new term, and that is multi-potentialite.
Multi-potentialite.
That's such a nice term. It just basically means you're basically interested in multiple things, and that's Ina. You're super talented, you're multi-talented.
Oh really? No, I'm not really that super talented.
No, shut up. This is my this is my interview, so you're not supposed to control what I'm gonna ask. How does your typical Saturday looks like? You know, despite, you know, you mentioned a lot of things already, but how does your typical Saturday looks like?
Okay, I wake up early in the morning. Okay. I normally wake up at 6:30 in the morning, so that's every day, even on the weekends.
You wake up early on a Saturday morning. That's your time
because
to rest a lot.
No, resting doesn't mean that you don't have to do anything. For me, resting means that I can do something that can actually satisfy and actually feed my soul. I'm a person with anxiety disorder that's clinically diagnosed, and I need some diversions every weekend, or even at night, to keep my mind away from those things that brings me anxiety. So to answer your question, typical Saturday, I wake up early in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. I normally bike, so I do cycling. That's another one. I do cycling.
Exactly.
If I decide to cycle on Saturdays, I wake up before 6:30. I have to wake at 5 o'clock in the morning and leave house at 5:30 so that I can cycle and avoid all those traffic. If I wake up at 6:30, then I make my coffee and then I run.
Wow.
Yeah, I run every weekend. So I normally run around 7 to 10 kilometers for an hour.
And that explains why we did a lot of walking here in Rwanda, and he really pushed me to do a lot of walking because he's used to that lifestyle.
Yeah, I tend not to check emails on the weekend. That's for mental health, and also to reduce my anxiety. I clean my house, so it's either Saturday or Sunday I clean my house. People ask me, who cleans your house? Because I have like a 2-bedroom unit apartment in Bangkok, and then people ask me, who cleans your house? And I said, I clean my house every weekend.
Ina is a very neat guy, so I can really see that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I read book at my place or go to a coffee shop to read a book, and then I come back for Netflix, and then I retire early.
And thanks, Ina, for sharing about anxiety disorder. And I could tell that during your weekends, you really try to, you know, create such a healthy lifestyle and use that opportunity to rest and you nurture yourself. Can you tell us more about anxiety disorder for the benefit of those who are also experiencing the same, and what does it what does it mean?
Well, I cannot explain it scientifically or clinically. I can explain it
Yeah, like,
based
but
on my
what does it mean
experience.
to you based on your
Yeah,
experience?
because I really went to the doctor and the doctor told me, oh, you have anxiety disorder.
Yeah.
So he's giving me pills, but I don't really, as much as possible, I don't take those pills regularly. During stressful periods, I suddenly wake up at night, middle of the night, sweating, and then my heart really beating fast, and then I just worry too much. And then if I kind of like go deep inside myself and ask myself what worries me, those really small things that worries me.
That get accumulated, I would imagine.
That gets accumulated, like
Yes.
small things. And sometimes I would say if I have anxiety now, I worry too much, like I cannot be at peace. And then the next day if I'm okay, and then recall back, okay, what are those things that worry me? Those are really, really small things. Maybe because of my personality about knowing much, and I have to know what will happen.
Yeah.
And I think it gave me that pain of uncertainty, or the pains of not knowing,
Yeah.
so that it gives me anxiety.
And I think it's important really to talk about that and to understand why it happens to a lot of people, and like, what are the certain ways you actually do when you face such level of anxiety?
Read a book, more of like Brené Brown kind of books. You have to search Brené Brown.
Yeah.
She talks about vulnerability and connectivity and the importance of sharing your own story with select people whom you trust, to tackle shame, quote shame, which means that I am not good enough, I am not perfect enough, I am not smart enough kind of shame. Because if you talk about that, if you talk about those kinds of I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not productive enough, and then a person tells you no, you're actually enough, and what you're doing actually is, contributes greatly to what we're doing in the community.
It's actually important to tackle shame without stigma, and also to understand that it's okay to be vulnerable and to be surrounded by people who would respect your vulnerability.
In the study of Dr. Brené Brown, she mentioned that vulnerability is not actually weakness, because vulnerability is a form of courage. Vulnerability is the willingness to be seen as what you are and as how you feel, and it is a birthplace of connection, creativity.
Those are very beautiful insights, Enad. Do you do meditation?
I do, but not regular.
But does it help with, addressing anxieties? Or?
It does help, but meditation, regular meditation helps reduce anxiety, but then I cannot meditate when I'm already anxious. Like, just cannot.
I guess our 7-minute interview ends right here. I know that Enad has a lot more to share, but we'd like to stick with the format. I encourage you to keep doing this and to keep interviewing more people who are really pushing their advocacies, whatever they are. Thank you, Enad. Thank you very much for Cause Somebody with